So you're giving Superflat Survival a first try. You're in an empty world with nothing but your trusty sapling by your side. Well, today I'm going to teach you how to make a general mob farm in Superflat using only the wood gathered from this sapling and many more trees that you're going to have to punch down in order to afford the stupendous amount of wood you need for this. But you don't need anything else, you just need your brain to watch this video and a bunch of logs. And maybe the odd piece of slime to use as a temporary scaffolding block, but don't worry, there's plenty of slime to go around. So place 2 temporary blocks and place 4 slabs like this, so they're above the height of a regular block. We don't want mobs to be able to spawn anywhere but inside the mob farm. So we need to create unspawnable surfaces all around our area. If you didn't know, by making a wooden shovel and paving the ground, you can create an unspawnable surface. Now you're going to have to do this quite a lot around your mob farm if you wish to see better results. But we'll get into that later on in the video. And then remember, now's the time to grab all of your logs you've been harvesting for this, because we're going to crack into it now. I am going to be building this in creative mode, but this is a survival friendly farm. We're going to place a temporary block on the side of the slab, and we're going to build a small wall around these slabs. We want to keep the top block, but get rid of the bottom one, because we want to create a gap between the blocks and the slabs. And this will be where the player stands and where you see the mobs fall down. Now we're going to build up, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. We're going to go 22 blocks tall because this will entail that the mobs that fall down the chute will be on one hit when they reach the bottom, so you don't have to waste time killing them. They will already be ready to die and you can just punch them. Now we're going to build all of our walls, all this height, to complete the chute. Now I know this will be hard to do in survival, but you will find a way. Whether that's scaffolding with slime blocks, building ladders around the walls, or maybe you're a bit risky and you'll jump down and place a slime at the bottom. Your build should be looking like this at this moment, 22 blocks into the sky and built out of your wood of choice. Now at the top we're going to place trapdoors in this alignment, like so, 4 trapdoors at the top, 1 on each block face. Now we place trapdoors because the mobs think that that is a block and they can walk on it, which will make them walk into the pit. For example, this creeper, we will give him a nudge to just example what happens, but he will fall down the chute and he will then be on a 1 hit. Now you've got to be careful because if you stand too close for creepers, they will be able to see you. So you could always add something around the bottom to make sure that they can't see you, like a block there, for instance. And as you can see, Mr. Creeper here is on 1 hit. And we still get the gunpowder and XP loot. The main reason you're probably building this mob farm is to kill zombies, because you want the rare chance of spawning the iron ingot as a loot drop. Now this is a zombie and creeper friendly farm, but we can reduce the amount of skeletons and endermen by making the top smaller. Anyway, we're going to branch off from this middle by 8 blocks, like so, and we're going to double this up, and we're going to do that on all 4 sides. 8 blocks each side, including the middle piece already. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like so. You can also do this in survival mode by crouching and placing the blocks like so. We're going to place a temporary slime block or a dirt block here, and place 1 wood block there and another. So we create this diagonal here. Now we're going to connect this to the other platform. So we do the same thing again and we draw the line out. On the inside, we're going to create a platform using the line we just built out, and we're going to fill all of this in with wood. Now, this is a very tedious process, but don't worry, the build gets even more tedious later on. Here I have now completed one side, and we're going to repeat this 3 more times on all sides. But whilst I'm here, let's build this wall up by 1. And I would say it's best to do this in the daytime, so make sure you sleep in between building this so you don't get any mobs spawn behind you and knock you off the build. So this is what one corner should look like, and we want to repeat this 3 times so we have symmetrical corners. So I'm going to build this out all the way, and I'm just going to repeat what I've just done. You should soon be looking at something like this, without breaking all of your blocks. Now at this point, I feel like it's the best time to put in a ladder, so you have easy access to your build eventually before we get any higher. So you can craft ladders using sticks you get from the logs, and we can place these up the side of the wall before we block ourselves out. Let's finish building the walls up or around the edges. To save materials, I've cut the corners. So we're going to go 3 blocks tall for the walls of this farm, and we're going to build these up now. Let's also go, for good measure, go 4 blocks tall because we're going to have to do it later on anyway. So 4 block tall walls on all of the sides. Like so. Now let's create our mob platforms, and remember, let's keep it daytime. So we're going to get rid of these corner blocks here because mobs can actually jump down the chute, which means they then die on impact, and we want to be able to kill them ourselves to get their lovely loot. I'm going to place some trapdoors here just to encourage mobs to walk off, but that's not necessary at all. So we're going to place 2 temporary blocks and then 1 above. We're going to go 2 temporary blocks and another 3 like so, and we're going to create 3 by 3 squares with 2 block gaps in between, and that will be on all sides, so here as well. Now we want 4 3 by 3 squares for a corner. In total, that will be 16 3 by 3 squares. So now on all of the sides that we can see the face of the block, we're going to place a trapdoor so that mobs will walk off these spawning platforms. So make sure you don't miss an edge and get all of them. So on this one in the middle, there will be all 4 sides will need trapdoors. You're going to need a lot of trapdoors for this part of the build. Now this is the tedious part of the build because you're going to have to repeat this process another 3 times. But as you can see, it's not too difficult to do. So we're going to build this in all 4 corners now. So your build should be looking just like this. Now I haven't placed the trapdoors on all of the builds at the moment because it is so tedious to do, especially if you're in survival mode. An easy way is to just go along in a straight line and place them like this so you don't miss any. And there we are. The trapdoors are all placed in. You can just hop around, do some parkour and check that all the sides are covered. Now is your chance to build the farm the way you want it. So if we were to build 2 blocks up and then place one like that, we can see that in the 2 block gap a creeper will be able to spawn, as well as zombies and spiders. but we can build the farm so that there is a 3 block gap, and we will be able to spawn Enderman in here. For the purpose of this video, we're going to go 3 blocks tall, 4 blocks in total. So around your farm, we're going to build the wall up so we have 4 blocks from the spawning platforms. We can also build our ladder up to catch up so you have access to the bottom. So finish placing in the walls around the farm. On all of the sides. And once you completed that, we can start to put the roof on the farm. So we're going to use 4 blocks here on the top block and completely cover this layer in. Now you may be wondering, if all blocks are spawnable, it will just ruin the farm. We don't have access to leaves at this moment in time, but we do have slabs and trapdoors. So if you have an abundance of trapdoors, make sure to place them on top of these blocks, or just use slabs like I will. But make sure that this is fully covered and no daylight will get in. So I'm going to use slabs for mine, and I'm just going to finish off the top roof, placing a bunch of slabs down. There we have it. That is your mob farm almost complete. You can see it's completely dark in here, and soon we shall see mobs starting to spawn. That is if your world is not set to peaceful mode. That is a big must-have, not peaceful mode in this world. So we're going to block up any holes we've left. We do not want any daylight getting in. And we're going to actually set it to nighttime because there will be better rates at night, but this will work in the day too. Now onto the hardest part of this build. As you can see, mobs are spawning outside of the mob farm and not inside. Why is this? Because this is super flat and they can spawn anywhere they like, especially around your brand new mob farm. So to increase rates inside the mob farm, as you can see, we do have some mobs spawning. Now water will push that creeper into the hole, but we don't have water, so we're going to have to make do with nothing for the moment. But it will still work. He will still eventually find his way down the chute. But the more mobs we have, the better chances we have of a mob falling down the chute and spawning inside the building. So we're going to have to get rid of these pesky mobs on the floor. And the only way to do that is with a spoon. Now, the reason I told you to get all of that wood before you start this is because you're going to have to make hundreds of wooden shovels, because this is the only tool in the game that lets you make a path block, and you don't have any stone or any other ores to make better tools, so wood's your only option. Now you're going to have to make a large area around your mob farm spawn proof if you want to see better rates. The larger the area, the better the rates. I'm going for quite a redonkulously big area, and this will take in survival absolutely ages, but in creative I can probably do this quickly, even though in creative it still is taking a long time. I would also suggest creating a perimeter around your mob farm so you don't get sneak attacked by any mobs spawning outside. Now remember, slimes can still spawn on grass, and spiders can still get through these badly done fences, so use actual fences unlike me here. What you can see just from me building the perimeter around, the mob farm is actually in action. As you can see in the chute is a selection of mobs, and now these should all be one hit. Let's switch to survival just to test it out. Did not think this one through. There's a slime right behind my face. If you could just sit over there, sir, you can just see the durability of those shovels are absolutely terrible. So you are going to need an absolute ton of them in order to actually complete this build. If you want the better rates, which you're going to need because you're going to need to kill a lot of zombies in order to get those iron ingots. So these slimes are now dealt with. There we are. So as you can see, these creepers and skeletons, they are all one hit. Now the zombie's got armor, so he's not one hit. Just remember that when you're trying to kill them quickly. But we got their XP and their loot, and that was very easy. The killing, not the build. The build was time consuming. Once fully pathed, your mob farm will look something like this. Just remember to light up the important areas, but do not light up inside of the mob farm, otherwise nothing will spawn. As you can see, we're keeping mobs out of us, away from us, we're safe, and we get to punch mobs all night long. This is definitely, I would say, the easiest mob farm design to build in Superflat if you're looking for a quick farm design that will not overcomplicate it too much. And you can always add to this later on by adding water. As you can see inside, because we spawn proof down below, there are tons of mobs in here, ready to be picked off and to be looted. You can always add some layers of protection at the bottom so you don't get surprised by any mobs down below. That's all from me. Thank you for watching the tutorial. I hope it helps you in your Minecraft world, and make sure to subscribe if you want more content like this. So, thank you very much. Have a nice day.